Hello to my channel Chinese Star. Today we will bring you the following hot and exciting news.
Wang Yibo hides his girlfriend. The suitcase has a shocking secret. Fans' reactions are amazing. Oh my god, Wang Yibo hides his girlfriend in a suitcase? I almost choked when I took a bite of this melon. The screenwriters in the entertainment industry have bigger imaginations than black holes. Let's not rush to get too excited. Is this melon ripe? Speaking of this revelation, it was made by the comic master Zhang Ziyahan. I dare not praise this brother's painting skills, but his ability to make up stories is really unique. He never names anyone, and it all depends on the imagination of netizens. You guess, I guess, everyone guesses. If you guess right, you have a sharp eye, and if you guess wrong, don't be annoyed. Anyway, he didn't say who it was. The protagonists of this masterpiece are the top streamer Xiaoke and his mysterious girlfriend Xiaoyi. In order to avoid the ubiquitous paparazzi and enthusiastic fans, Xiaoke actually came up with a clever trick stuffing Xiaoyi into the suitcase. This operation, my grandmother had to shake her head when she saw it. Young people nowadays really know how to play. Cold face on the red carpet, Lihua, one person supporting the entire company. Don't these keywords point to our cool guy Wang Yibo? Netizens turned into Sherlock Holmes, unraveling the mystery and linking Wang Yibo to the suitcase incident. However, we have to be rational. Back then, the scandal between Wang Yibo and Kimi was also a sensation, with the same sunflowers, the same shoes, and all kinds of coincidences that made people dazzled. What was the result? Didn't it end in vain? So, for the melons in the entertainment industry, just take a look and don't take them too seriously. Speaking of this suitcase hiding people operation, it is really eye-opening. How deep is this love to make people willingly stuff themselves into a suitcase? If it were me, let alone a suitcase, even if it was a safe, I would kick it open. However, what surprised me most about this incident was the reaction of the fans. In the past, if there was a scandal about an idol, the fans would cry and scramble, and they would want to tear the sister-in-law into pieces. But this time, Wang Yibo's fans were unusually calm, and many even sent their blessings. It seems that today's fans have grown up, and no longer have the childish mentality of my brother can only be mine in the past. This also reminds people of the time when Luhan Guanzon made their relationship public. Luhan was the top star among the top stars at the time, and making his relationship public was tantamount to self-destruction. But he still bravely made it public, and this courage deserves respect. On the other hand, some stars hide and cover up, but what is the result? They are still caught by paparazzi and then make a big fuss. Instead of this, it is better to make it public openly and win a wave of goodwill. Of course, some people question Zhang Ziyahan's revelations, thinking that this is another play he directed and acted in. After all, this Betty's comics never name names, and rely entirely on netizen speculation. This operation is somewhat like fishing enforcement. Moreover, this revelation also triggered another thought. In an era where traffic is king, where is the bottom line of paparazzi? For the sake of traffic, they can make up stories without bottom line, even at the cost of damaging the reputation of others. This behavior is not only harmful to the parties involved, but also a cancer to the entire entertainment industry. Finally, Wang Yibo's side also refuted the rumor. This wave of suitcase storm ended in a farce. But this incident also left us with a lot to think about the relationship between idols and fans, about the professional ethics of paparazzi, about the ecological environment of the entertainment industry. I hope that the future entertainment industry will have less groundless catching and more sincerity and beauty. I also hope that all the melon-eating people will open their eyes, eat melons rationally, and not believe in rumors or spread them. After all, it takes only one mouth to spread rumors, but it takes a lot of running to refute them. Instead of wasting time on gossip, it is better to pay more attention to the works and support your favorite idols. This is the serious matter. Wang Yibo encountered a thrilling scene in his 50-meter high performance when the safety buckle was not fastened, which triggered a reflection on the professionalism and industry safety of the entertainment industry, calling for professionalism to be based on occupational safety and avoid exchanging life for short-term applause. Then, he was hung 50 meters high. At that moment, it was not nervous, but the whole audience was suffocated. The audience thought they were watching a New Year's Eve party, but in fact, it was more like an extreme challenge of life and death rappelling. What made the heart beat faster than his dance moves was the unfastened safety buckle. That's right, this is not only a stage, but a bed of life at an altitude of 50 meters. Do you think that such a life-threatening scene only happens in movies? Sorry, the drama in the entertainment industry has always been more exaggerated than any script. It's just that this time, Wang Yibo is not the protagonist, but a suspense that may be disconnected at any time. Every time he turns in the sky, it seems that he is splicing the cracks between the wire and gravity with his life. And what about the audience? They only applauded and screamed, and their hearts were hanging. No wonder, who would notice the cold sweat behind the spotlights? At this moment, we remembered the boy who always rode away from the crowd. Whether it is Wang Yibo, who was dusty on the motorcycle racetrack, or Wang Yibo, who confessed himself with dance in the MV of No Feeling, he always seems to tell us with his actions, limits are meant to be broken through. But who would have thought that this breakthrough would one day put his life on the line? 50 meters high is not a symbol of freedom, but a symbol of danger. And this accident, to some extent, has become part of his professional label. However, this is not the first time he has danced with danger. At the 2020 New Year's Eve party, he injured his hand and soaked the microphone with blood, but he still insisted on singing the song. The media wrote about his professionalism, and the audience lamented that he was desperate. But do we really need this kind of desperate professionalism? The stage is for shining, not for burning. Wang Yibo's calmness and tenacity are certainly admirable, but if he needs to use possible life risks to win applause, is such applause a bit too harsh? Some people say that this kind of accident is only a low-probability event. Yes, the wire work, lighting, and props on the stage, which one is not operated according to industrial-level procedures? But the fact that the safety buckle was not fastened sounds like a low-level cold joke. Did the staff responsible for checking the equipment go to chase the live broadcast barrage at that time? You know, this is not hanging a drone, this is hanging a life. The key to the problem has never been probability, but cost. Low probability events do not mean low costs, but a possible sky-high loss. In the final analysis, this accident exposed not the accident itself, but a chilling industry inertia. In recent years, similar stage accidents have been common. Fireworks ignited the stage scenery at Zhou's concert, Zhang Ji's firework equipment went out of control, and even there was a tragedy where an actor fell and died on the stage. Lessons again and again tell us, no matter how sophisticated the industrial process is, it cannot eliminate the risk of carelessness. And shouldn't this kind of entertainment culture that wins in danger reflect on it? What's even more outrageous is that this difficult performance not only did not make the audience reflect, but instead became a carnival of spiritual consumption. Someone shouted in the barrage, "My brother is really a hard worker." Others said, "This is the romance of a real man." Sorry, this is not romance, this is cruelty. Romance is that you dance, I applaud, and we hit it off. It is not that you dance with your life hanging on, and I cheer with my throat hanging. Behind this consumer carnival, there is actually a deformed psychological need. The audience's sense of excitement is often at the expense of the artist's risk. But this is not entirely the audience's fault. Who can escape responsibility? The organizer, the planning team, or the artist team? In order to pursue the sense of stage explosion, the organizer always requires higher and more difficult requirements. The artist team must work hard to meet these requirements, for fear of losing at the starting line. Even the artists themselves sometimes regard fighting as a kind of professional honor. Wang Yibo has fought all the way from a trainee to today, and he has suffered. But are some sufferings really necessary? Thinking of this, I can't help but think of a discussion among netizens about professionalism. We like the efforts of artists, but we don't want them to gamble with their lives. Yes, there is only one life, why should we use it to exchange for a short applause? The stage of the entertainment industry needs light, but this light should not be a flame ignited by life. In the final analysis, whether it is Wang Yibo or other artists, their profession is to bring happiness to the audience, not danger. Interestingly, this dangerous culture does not only exist in the entertainment industry. Look around us, how many people are working hard in the same way? Working overtime until the lights go out late at night. The work intensity is overloaded, but in return, you are really dedicated. This logic of exchanging life for touching is exactly what we need to reflect on. Professionalism should be based on occupational safety, rather than using health and life to fill the loopholes in the industry. As for Wang Yibo this time, I think his performance is professional enough, but I hope his team and organizers can learn lessons. A safety buckle is both the bottom line of life and the red line of the profession. Don't let professionalism become an excuse to consume life. Finally, let's talk about stage performances. If there can be such high-altitude performances in future New Year's Eve parties, my suggestion is, Let the leaders of the organizers hang up and try it themselves first. If they think the safety buckle does not need to be fastened, then we can talk about the spirit of entertainment.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to our support channel.